Okay, welcome everyone to 2018. This is the GNU Radio January 2018 project call. It's the first call of the year. It'll be a short one. We have a fairly short agenda, which will be updated on the wiki as usual. So just in case 2018 was the year that someone thought they might get involved in GNU Radio, and this might, for whatever reason, this might be the first call that you're following. So we do these every month on the third Thursday of the month, and they're always on Google Hangouts, and people can join us until we've reached the Google Hangouts join limit. I'm not quite sure how many people that is. It's something like 12, so we've rarely reached that. But we also broadcast it on YouTube, and then the video actually stays up on YouTube for watching later. And of course, this is all being accompanied by chats in Slack or IRC, which are mirrored into each other, so basically they're the same. And the agenda is posted on the wiki.gnuradio.org. And once the call is over, I also post a link to the YouTube video, so it's easy to find, and you can quickly go through the calls for the year. So we have 2 agenda items, but before we go into those, I quickly want to give some announcements, things that are coming up. So one thing that I've been talking about in every single call since, I don't know, August or something, is FOSDEM. FOSDEM is very soon now, so this is going to be the last time that I announce it on this call. FOSDEM 2018 will be held in Brussels, as every year, on the 3rd and 4th of February. So that's very soon. That is a weekend, Saturday and Sunday. FOSDEM is a big conference, completely dedicated to open source related topics. And it includes a lot of mini conferences called dev rooms. And one of them is the software-defined radio dev room. So that's effectively a one-day conference on free software-defined radio topics. Now, the schedule is already posted on the FOSDEM website, and I'll share a link on in the wiki page. But it's free to attend. And the nice thing about FOSDEM is not just the talks, because you can also watch them later. You can just watch the videos later, but also just the sheer amount of free software people that are in one big spot. So it's a very good place to just meet people. And Derek will be there, I will be there, and plenty of other people from the GNU Radio crowd will also be there. So several of the talks are actually GNU Radio related, but there are also talks that are not GNU Radio related at all, that just other topics. So FOSDEM, I highly recommend attending if you can, and if you can't, then I can still recommend tuning into some of the recordings of the talks afterwards. The other thing I just quickly wanted to mention is Summer of Code. So most years we've applied to 2 projects, and the big one, the one that everyone knows, is of course Google Summer of Code. And Felix stepped in to do the org admin this year, and he's done a great job so far. We have a good wiki page with ideas. He submitted our application on time, and for now, all we can do is just cross our fingers, hope for the best, and just hope we get accepted into the program like we did last year. And then the last 3 years, we also applied to a program called Summer of Code in Space, which is similar to GSOC. It's a little smaller. And it's organized by the European Space Agency. Assuming there will be another Summer of Code in Space in 2018, we will also apply for that. The main difference for people who want to attend or participate is that the Summer of Code in Space is limited to students from countries that are member states of the European Space Agency, whereas Google Summer of Code is limited to is available to all students except for students in countries that are export controlled from the United States. So I think very few countries are left out by that. Okay, so those are our two announcements.
Actually, we have one more.
Sure, go ahead.
The local DEF CON club in South Africa, in Cape Town, is having their very first meetup. And their first meetup is actually going to be a hands-on GNU Radio tutorial. So if anybody is listening from South Africa on a Saturday, January 27th, so that's not this weekend, but the weekend following, they will have a GNU Radio event. So they have a link on meetup.com about it, and I'll post it now in Slack and IRC. But they're trying to attract interest since it's the first meeting of the club, basically.
Cool. That's great. On that note, if you plan to host your local GNU Radio event or a little hackfest or a tutorial or anything like that, like please let us know. Like post it on the mailing list. And if you drop Ben or Jonathan or myself a note, we will announce it on the call. And obviously, you could also just join the call and mention it yourself. So that's great. All right. For the next item, we're going to talk a little bit about GRCon 2018. And Derek is actually on the planning committee, so I'm just going to hand it over to Derek.
Thanks, Martin. So yes, GNU Radio Conference is happening again this year. We are working on selecting the final date and venue, but all the dates under consideration are right in the same window that we've always done annually, late August to September timeframe. And we're looking forward to being able to announce those hopefully not too far into the future. The regular organizing calls have started up, and they're currently being held on Fridays. And this leads to the big point, which is we are looking for volunteers to join the organizing committee. We have small jobs, we have big jobs. We have space for people who just want to sit in and find out about how the conference is run. And we'll definitely be looking for volunteers to actually assist at the conference, but we'll make that call out again during the summertime period. But if you have any interest in joining in and helping organize the committee, the conference, please let me know. My email is all over the mailing list, but it's also derek.kozel@gmail.com is a good way to reach me. And I hope that some people are interested. We interestingly did put out a question in last year's survey at the end of the conference saying who would be interested in volunteering. We got back a whole bunch of responses saying that people would be very happy, but the survey was anonymous. We appreciate your feedback. We appreciate your enthusiasm, and we would very much appreciate your names if you want to volunteer. So thanks very much.
Oh, sorry, I was muted there. Thanks, Eric. And also, thanks for that update, but also thanks for volunteering. Okay, so actually the final agenda item already it will be sort of a status on development. I'm just going to hand it off to Jonathan to talk about that.
Well, hello, folks. It's good to be back. For those of you who weren't aware, after about 12 years of working on the project, back in October, I took sort of an unofficial sabbatical for a couple of months in order to look at a couple of other things that were going on at the time. I'm back. We're getting ready to spin back up in our normal development daily process. Our short-term our priorities really are to get the work that has been done over the last year finalized into a release. We're talking about a release on a 3.7 code base so that the things that are already working have been tested and committed in the tree, as well as the current batch of pull requests can get rolled into a release. And then we'll move on to trying to finalize our 3.8 Python branch and get that out for wider testing from our audience. So I'm hoping that we can see a pickup in the development over the next month or so as things get spun back up. And as always, if anyone has any specific requests, wants to get involved in development or releases, I can be contacted by email on Slack on IRC. And, again, it's an opportunity for people who have not worked on GNU Radio before to get involved with the project as we spin things back up. Thank you.
Thanks, Jonathan. All right. That includes our first call for January, unless someone has some last-minute items. All right. Doesn't look like it. Well, thanks everyone for joining and for watching the video if you're doing so later. I hope this will be a very productive year, 2018. I hope we'll see lots of new faces, and I hope we'll see more of the old faces. And yeah, I'm looking forward to working with all of you on GNU Radio in 2018. Bye, everyone.